G'day, welcome back. So here with a 2015 Holden Barina RS. It's got a General Motors 1.4 turbo engine, and these engines aren't that great. They have a lot of turbo problems. This was showing a fault code for a underboost condition. So I haven't done any diagnosis, obviously. I'm just a parts changer. So someone's told me what it needs, give me the parts, got me to swap it out. So that's what I've done. Here's the old one. You see it's all integrated into the manifold, so it's like a one-piece deal. I've spent some time, I've got it all running. About to go for a test drive. But yeah, this is kind of how it went. I have to say, I don't like these cars. I don't really do much with General Motors stuff, and I can see why now. It looks like it should be a pretty straightforward job, but so many bits you just can't get your hands to. It's just, I've hated working on this car. You might not, but I do. I'll stick to my Audis and Volkswagens and cool stuff, and we'll all be happier for it. So this is how it went. We'll have a bit of a look at the broken one at the end. So yeah, enjoy. I was just about to start pulling this all apart when I kind of just looked underneath, and there's this suspicious trail of red coolant coming down from driver's side, right hand side of the car. So I'm presuming the water pump's also toast. See what we can see. Certainly coming, oh hang on, focus. Certainly coming from up that way. Looks a wee bit wet behind that. Wet behind that pulley there. Guess we need a water pump too. Right, so here's our wee Ecotec turbocharged engine. You see we've got a heat shield here. We've got an airbox and stuff. Coolant jug. But down there, deep down there, behind there, is a wastegate for the turbo. That's the turbo that we need to swap out. So what I'll do, I'll just kind of clear out some space, move the airbox and stuff, and well, one, have a good look at the water pump over there, and then we'll get it all cleaned out so we've got some space to work, and we'll get into the interesting stuff. Taking the turbo off, we still don't want anything to fall into the manifold. That'd be not much fun. Like that. I'll get this heat shield out the way. It's inverted Torx, E-Torx, that's the number 10. Last one's a wee bit tricky, last one's a wee bit tricky, you can't really, it's not really enough room to get much in, so put the socket on and just turn it with these big pliers. It wasn't overly tight. Right, so we'll just have a quick compare, make sure this looks the same, and it looks the same. Yeah, all of our hoses look right, the wastegate looks right, you've got these flangey bits that look alright, all feeds in the same place. So yeah, looks like the right one. Right, so in terms of what we need to undo, there's a few hoses over here. There's this PCV looking hose there, There's some vacuum line there. You got the main clamp there, manifold, studs, boost hose down. Oh, what's that one? The boost hose. Boost hose down there. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe. Doesn't look too bad, he says. See if we can undo the bracket for the turbo. That's three now. Your boost hose you probably can't see. Access hasn't been too bad so far. Probably get a wee bit harder at some point. Oh, you it's going to be fun to get, isn't it? Right, so we've done the oil fill, we've done one of the coolant hoses, manifold bolts, times 8. Not a lot of room in there. I'll just remove these lift-in brackets. And just an E12. You don't really have to remove these, I guess. Partly I'm doing this just to make it easy to video, but time we start on the first beer. We've got a Monteith's Golden from the west coast here, that's where the wife is from. Excellent. Right, so we can get this get this first one out. Not a lot of room to get the old tools in. If you did a few of these, you'd probably get pretty quick. But this is going to be the only one I ever do, so it'll take as long as it takes. That's going brilliantly. So on the third tool for the first bolt, it's going to be going pretty good, isn't it? Right, one down. Where's the next hardest? Ow, just there. What are we going to fit in there? Probably that one, still. That one was pretty loose. Yeah, you took the stud. Cool. Not quite ideal. Might need a swivel for that. Get that out of the way somehow. Hang on, need more hands. Old banjo bolty. There you go. That's the oil feed. Doesn't look blocked in any way, but I'll give it a wee blow through. That all right? Just got that wee vacuum line. There we are, home free. Here's our turbo Hoffenwagen. We have a pretty big crack in the old wastegate there. Apparently cracks there are normal, up to a point. Does look pretty big though. Oil feed's a bit gummed up. Terrible. The old gasket out. The MLS gasket. Looks like it's been sealing pretty well. Yeah, looks good. Right, here's the old turbo. There's the new one. Just need to swap over a few bits. So I've got a new oil drain. These breaking all to pieces, as that one has. I just need the bolts off there. Then we've got these two coolant lines, feed and return. Got a couple of new ones, just so we don't end up with any leaks. So yeah, let's crack this off and crack it off, put it on. Sorry about the rain, it's been a bit of a storm out there, but this is the only time we've got to come down here. Didn't really need to take that off, we'll just have a look. It doesn't seem overly, it's not blocked. Bit of crust on there, but she's all good. Right, we'll do that first, eh? That sits like that. Nice big gasket. Just figure out a torque spec and just do it a little bit tight, not too tight. Let the gasket do the work. That's probably tight enough for me. Yeah, perfect. Right, next. Let's coolant lines. The 17s. Not overly tight, thankfully. So I don't really know how those bolts come off there. Might just end up reusing them. Yeah, I don't know how that would come off there without doing damage, so we're just not gonna. So we'll just, yeah, swap those washers out. My new ones. Alright, got some new Doughty washers. Handy wee selection box. Hopefully we got the right size. Looks to be that one. What's that? M something. Put this one on. That's probably all the bits we needed to take off there. Cool. Good to go. So I just got to recover the one exhaust manifold stud that got stuck in, just using the old double nut. Don't Google it. There we go, so we'll get that one off and then pop it back in the head. Hopefully it's not too hard to get off there, and job done. So our new gasket, it's not returnable if the seal's broken. What happens if it's just soggy as a sausage because it's been caught in a rainstorm? Can we still return that one? Just full of water. Love this workshop. Alright, all our studs are in. We'll check that surface, make sure it's good for a gasket, and we can probably pop a turbo back in. Alright, so here's the gasket, and he goes on one way. Looks alright. Here's the old turb loss. Let's see if we can get that one down there. try the line.
Five minutes later.
Try around with this guy. That way looks good. The gasket's on. That bracket doohickey thing's on. I'll get our nuts started. Not going to tighten anything just yet, just going to get it all into position. Just put get all our hoses sorted out now. So the tricky bit is reconnecting that coolant line. You can just see down through past the hose, past the manifold. Yeah, not a lot of room there. It's a 17mm. Use my big spanner, see what we can do. Right, so the only hard part of this whole job is trying to get the coolant union to bolt up to that flange, which lives underneath that hose, behind that bracket, behind the turbo, deep in the bottom of the engine. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that yet. Thinking about taking it, I need to do the water pump anyway, which is over there, so I've got to take the AC belt off and the like. So I'm thinking about taking off the aircon compressor bracket. Well, my only concern there is, can I actually get it back on once the turbo's back on? Hopefully. It's interesting how we've got take the turbo off, you can see a date mark on there, 150818, so maybe this isn't even the original engine. There's our leaky water pump. You can see we've all got the pink residue down there. Doesn't seem to be coming from the gasket, it seems to be coming from the pump itself. Bit of a pain to get to. You've got the old focus. Could take the engine mount off, so we had to support the engine with blocks of wood and bits and pieces. But yeah, we'll grab that off and see what else we can do to get the turbo in, the water pump done, and all that kind of stuff. Right, so nothing like making a mountain out of a molehill. So I've removed, well, come over here. First of all, we've taken out the water pump that we had to change anyway. Went away to take the belt off, which means I could drop the AC compressor down there and move the AC bracket out of the way, which means now hopefully I can do that bolt up and then put the rest of that side of the engine back on. So we're taking the engine mount off, taking all that stuff off, and yeah, hopefully we can put it back together. Right, so the new water pump's in. A bit of a wrestle to get that in, so the tiny amount of sealant I put on it now looks like some kind of STD in there, but we'll give that a clean off. But yeah, I wouldn't normally use sealant, but I'm not going back in there ever, so I hate this car. So yeah, just want it sealed and out of here. There's our drive belt back on, so we're getting there slowly. I'll pop that engine mount back in and tidy up the rest of it. It's one half of the engine mount. As you see, you can't really take the drive bolt off without taking the engine mount out. It's a quality design. So if you're stuck on the side of the road, your car's kind of ripped off a belt for whatever reason, that's quite the mission to get it changed. Not that you'll find a belt anytime easily. Engine mount done. Nice new manifold nuts. Got our oil line in. We've kind of primed that best we can. We're going to build up some pressure before we start the car and check for leaks. But we'll get these nuts on. These nuts. Turbo's in. Nuts all torqued. Oil lines, water lines. All the lines are in. Started connecting everything back up, so yeah, I'll do that and we'll see you when it's done. There we are, all back together, all heat shields, all hoses, all airbox, coolant reservoir, all back in, batteries charged. So yeah, put some coolant in, check the oil, Bob's your uncle. You see all the dirt and stuff in the header tank. This car's definitely seen some foul play. Maybe the head gasket went last time around and that's why I got a new motor. What's that pen mark on the reservoir too? That's definitely something fishy going on here. Or maybe it's just standard GM stuff. I don't know. Penrite OEM red. Six trouble codes. What do we got? Intake air temp. What do we got? How does this work? Not even my scanner. Oh. Yeah, loads of stuff that wasn't connected. Let's erase those codes. Yeah. Right, let's start it up, see what happens. Well, it doesn't sound horrible, does it? So I'll let it warm up. I'm going to change the oil and come back once it's all up and running. We'll go for a wee drive. Burning off the good stuff. Hopefully it stops once it's cleaned itself up. Well, that's a good start. No codes after a quick run up. Change the oil and we'll go for a drive. Take it for a spin. Sounds alright. B for drive. Sheet belt. Sounds alright so far. Indicators on the wrong side. Right there. exploded yet. Right, so after a longer test drive, still no codes, drives alright. I'm going to call that one done. Right, there we are, smoking's all stopped, just burnt off whatever was on there. It's all good, Patrick? Is it all good? Thumbs up? Thumbs up? Yay! Heap of junks out of here. Right, here's the old turbo. I thought we'd have a wee look at it, see if we can see a problem. So it's a genuine Garrett, made in Romania, if that helps. So I'll start with our ins. So you see the oil input there, some black crusty stuff in there, but it's not blocked. There's some dirt from it lying on the floor too, but no, that's okay. It would have been flowing okay. Look at our drain. Again, a wee bit crusty, but still draining fine. Wastegate. So I mentioned before the big crack in there. Can you see that? A big old crack in there. I'll have a better look in a sec, but yeah, see there's a big crack there. Apparently that's quite normal for these to crack, and that's not a reason to replace them in itself. Wastegate. Yeah, she's pretty tight. Can move it, or just knock that arm off. There we go. I'd already taken the clip off. And we're going to have a proper look at the crack. Goes all the way through. Hang on, so we get that in the light maybe. That would probably help. So yeah, it's quite a big crack. So yeah, that's probably not helping us maintain adequate boost. This is all a bit floppy, our wastegate. The turbine. That's the tiniest amount of play. That's probably totally fine. Definitely within spec. Let's take it to pieces some more. Clamp, that's out of the way. Might need to use an old persuader. I don't want to undo, does it? Try these bolts instead, eh? Well, there's our spinny thing. See here? Tiny amount of play. Seems totally fine. There's one wee ding in the housing, but that's probably me when I took it apart. Don't know if we'll be able to separate that. Not sure if there's much benefit to that either. But anyway, yeah, there's our crack. Does that all... You see the play? but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Yeah, so, but maybe combination of our cracking the wastegate, bit of play in there. It's a GM and all that kind of stuff. It's probably why it failed. But new one's in, codes are gone, job done.